What is up, English class? Thank you so much for tuning in for this video. If you enjoy it, make sure to check out the YouTube, the TikTok, or even the Twitch. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so my book report is over Code Talkers by Joseph Burchak. So this is a nonfiction story. I give it about a 3.13 out of 5. It was pretty solid, but it wasn't really for me. So basically the main character, Key, goes to this boarding school. His parents send them there. So there are a bunch of other Navajo students there, but all the people there are like old white people who are very strict and don't want the Navajo to be there. They don't want their language to be there. They don't want their culture to be there. They want to change them into speaking English and being more normalized, as they would say. So basically, he keeps on going through. He's pretty good at school. If you do end up speaking Navajo, you get punished, and they try and basically make them forget their language. But one day, the Marines come. He's 15 years old, and the Marines come, and he's very interested, and he wants to join. So he asks his parents, but they say that he can't join because he's too young. But if they come again next year, he can. So next year, he's 16. They come, and then his parents let him join. So he goes with the Marines, and then and then he ends up training, and then he ends up going to Japan to go fight in the war. The location this is set in, it starts in North America, but then he goes to a training camp and then transfers over to Japan for the war. So there are many conflicts in this from not being able to use his culture or speak his language. He's also in a war, which is a huge conflict. So the quote I chose for this book is, "Strong words outlast the paper they're written on." This shows that his language will live on even if people try and get rid of it. I think the theme for this story is it doesn't matter who you are, you can do what you want, and it's signified throughout the story by even though he's a Native American, he's still doing things like going into a war and what he wants. Flashbacks in this story, he looks back to his childhood, and when he was able to speak his language, his childhood was also his favorite part of his life, so he always likes to look back at that. Okay, so my thoughts on this book is that it was pretty good. I would say it's slightly above average. So the reasons I say this is because Native culture or cultures and stuff like that, I'm not too interested in, but I more enjoy war stuff, but it was more like parts of the war more than like an actual whole war. It wasn't the more entertaining parts for me. But overall, it was still pretty good, and I think the writing was done really well. I would definitely recommend this book to someone who would be big on World War II or really enjoy something like Native American culture or something like that. So I actually forgot to tell you guys this earlier, but it is in first person. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.